Hello everyone! Today I'm here to do a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and it's taken me a while to get up all the books for it, but today I'm going to talk about some books that are set in bookstores. So as a reader, I love reading any books that have a setting in a bookstore. I'm just immediately drawn to them. I want to read them as soon as possible because I love reading, and any book set in a bookstore, I'm like, it's got to be for me, right? So I have a long list today of books that I've read that are set in bookstores that I enjoy. Some more than others, but overall, I enjoy a lot of these, and maybe you will too. And if you're a big fan of books like I am, set in bookstores, this will be great for you. The first book I want to talk about is a YA book, and that is Last Chance Books by Kelsey Roeke. This is I would say kind of a young adult version of You've Got Mail, but very, very loosely. So this book follows a character named Madeline who works at her aunt's bookstore. Like, it's her family bookstore, it's an indie bookstore, she loves it, and it's not doing so well business-wise, and mainly because a big bookstore moves in across the street that's kind of like a big Barnes and Noble that's threatening to take over their business. So she's like, I hate them. Also in the mix is this guy named Jasper, who she really crushes on. He flirts with her, and then she learns that he works at this bookstore across the street. So of course she's like, we're sworn enemies. You're taking my business. I can't stand you. And so they go out on a all-out war to try to destroy each other's business, and there you go. It's a YA book, so yes, it is juvenile because they act juvenile because they're young, but it is cute. I mean, it's set in bookstores. It gives you that bookstore feeling. You get to hear her talk about her favorite books and how she sells books, and it's just overall cute. Like, if you just want a good book set in a bookstore, this is a great one to read. Next up is The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. So this is exactly what it says. It's about a character named Nina Hill who works, and you guessed it, a bookstore. And she loves it. The book is even filled with every chapter is like a page in her planner of what she plans to do that day, which gets extra bonus points for me because I'm the same way. But basically, the book is about her working at this bookstore, and everything's going good. And then she learns that she has a father that she never really knew. She never knew her father. And basically the whole book is about her discovering her father has actually passed away, and she gets to meet all of these siblings and relatives that she never knew she had. This whole book is about her kind of having this quiet life that she's always been accustomed to and really enjoyed it, and about her kind of opening up her life. This one's not fully 100% about bookstores like Last Chance Books definitely is, but it still was really cute. I really enjoyed it. Nina loves books. She loves bookish things. She loves working in the bookstore, so this is a great one as well. Another YA one I read, it's been a while, so forgive me. It's called Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. And basically this is about a bookstore called Howling Books. That's the whole store's name. And so this book follows Henry and Rachel, and they were best friends until Rachel moved away. But now she is back. And now she's actually working at the bookstore, and she's grieving her brother who has passed away, and just kind of living her life through books and trying to give people the right books. And it's really a love letter to books, this book is, honestly, because it's all about her trying to find a book for each person, because she fully believes there's a book for each person out there. It's also got a cute romance in it. It's a YA contemporary. I really enjoyed it. I don't hear anybody ever talk about this book, but it's a cute one and I liked it. Another one I read a while ago is The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. This is an adult, kind of woman's fiction, romance, I guess you could say. And this is about a character named Nina who loves her life. She has a very hectic job. She works as a librarian, but she decides to kind of give all of that up. And so she moves to this sleepy small town village. Jenny Colgan's kind of known for books that are set in really small towns, and she buys this kind of old van and she makes it into a traveling bookstore, which is just amazing. Hence why the title's called A Bookshop Around the Corner, because the van's always around the corner. You never know what's going to pop up. So basically that's what the whole book is about, her making this van into a bookstore and her also finding love. It's cute. It's not amazing, but the whole aspect of her transforming this van into a bookstore is really cute. I'm not gonna lie to you. Another women's fiction romance is Much Ado About You by Samantha Young. This is about a character named Evangeline who just really feels like her life's kind of passing her by. She doesn't feel like she's doing a lot in her Chicago life, so she decides to give it all up, move to this really, really small town in England and run this bookstore, because this woman doesn't want to run the bookstore anymore, so she decides to leave it. And this bookstore called Much Ado About Books, kind of like Shakespeare. And so she runs it and then she gets to live above it. And so that's what she wants to do. She wants to like have no guy. She just wants to run this bookstore and just be happy. And of course, as always, there's a guy that she meets and they become friends and something more. And it's not one of my favorites, but she like the whole reason she moves is to run this bookstore. And it's an adorable bookstore that you want to visit immediately. And especially any like setting up with a book that's set in a bookstore, yes, but also set in like a quaint small town village, English village at that. Like I'm always like, yeah, I will read it. I'm there. And the last book I want to talk about is The Storied Life of A.J. Finchrey. I think that's how you say it. I always want to say Finchrey, but I'm not sure, by Gabrielle Zevin. This is a literary fiction, I would say, and this is about a guy named A.J. Finchrey who has a bookstore, and it's not doing the best. He's kind of just going through the motions of it day by day, just like working it. That's about it. That's all he really does until something arrives on his doorstep that completely and like changes his life insanely. I don't remember a ton about it because I didn't love it. I really wanted to love it, but I thought I'd talk about it because it is set in a bookstore and that's kind of the whole premise about it. So those are the books that I really wanted to talk about that are set in bookstores. There's a couple more that I want to mention that the bookstores are not the main focus. They're just kind of there in the back burner, but I still thought it'd be good to mention them. First up is When True Love's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a chick lit romance book. It's about a woman named Emma who marries her high school sweetheart Jesse, and basically they travel the world together, and Jesse gets like in a helicopter crash and his body's never recovered. So she's very, very obviously distraught about this. She moves back home to Boston. She moves back home to Massachusetts and she starts working at like family's bookstore again to try to pick up the pieces of her life. She meets a new guy, and then all of a sudden she learns that Jesse has been found alive and he's coming back home. So that's kind of the whole gist of it, but Emma really learns that she loves books and she loves working at bookstores, hence why you see all these books on the cover. So the bookstore is definitely not even a major proponent in this book, but it does play a part in it, so I thought I would mention it for you guys. The one is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. This book follows a character named Emily who moves to help her sister, like her sister got in a car accident, so she needs a little bit of help, and somehow she gets roped into helping out with her niece's Renaissance fair. And then basically she gets a job in town at, you guessed it, a bookstore, and she really loves it. She wants to take it over. So again, this book is not like the bookstore is not the main focal point at all in this book, but it's just a little proponent to it that I thought I would mention because she does love books. She does work in a bookstore. That's the only two I could think of like off the top of my head that are like kind of a little bit about bookstores, not a ton. I don't know, but either way, there you have it. Those are some books that I've read that are set in bookstores. I know I'm missing a lot. There's so many more that are set in bookstores that I have yet to read that I want to read. So if you have any favorites that you think that I would really enjoy, please let me know. And also let me know, what are your favorite books set in bookstores? I would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.